So now Canada should just completely get eradicated. Because there's nobody here left to defend them.
Yes, sir.
You lot, please do go and take out Nova Scotia. That would be lovely. Canada is not long for this world. Quebec is ours, Montreal is ours, Ottawa will soon be ours. Netherlands exists. Yep, they're still alive, somehow. How are we doing against the two Sicilies? No better than the last time I checked. I don't think this border has moved throughout the entire war. And the Germans seem to have initiated a humongous counterattack, which is losing on every single front. Oh, Germany. Let's get some more fighters under production.
Orders. Ready, sir. Yes, sir.
Be based there. And suddenly there's a huge amount of air power. Of which only 23 planes can actually take part because there's not very many people actually fighting here. Adrian Carton de Viat. We meet again, sir. Just like in the beaches of Britain. Yep, Papal State still holds Rome. And there it is, Ottawa. How are you still alive? Halifax, probably. Yeah, I think so. Not anymore. There it is. 99! What? Oh, please tell me I don't need to take that.
Ready,
I'm really so mad. Or St. John's, which will require a naval invasion. No, or it just happens. Arthur Horner has announced the cowardly Canadian nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of British forces. What? One man? They send one division and then get to claim victory? Yeah, I think it's because the Union of Britain were the ones who kicked the majority of Canada's arse out of Britain. Even though technically it was my motorised that did it, but we were volunteers, not actually in the war. So they had the highest war participation against the Canadians. But hey, I took 99% of it, so I'm pretty happy. I could probably even go to them and say, hey, you know that Quebec thing that you apparently own? Yeah, that should be mine. Right, so everything I own in Canada, it considers unfair for me to hold. Because it's Canadian. Ah, you sods. Just take this last piece, and then we can start thinking about redeploying elsewhere. Now I'm very much hoping that Mexico has this situation under control. Alright, we have another 4. What am I short on? At the moment, nothing. So considering that I'm still trying to prop up the Indian government, I'm going to increase the amount of guns I'm producing simply so I can send you more. Plus I'm going to send you all of those. Send you the artillery as well. I'll send you another 100 of those. 46. 67. 20. 1. 93. 85. 81. 3. 2, 1, 8, 6. See, this is so worth my time to go through and just manually do all of these rather than just click a button saying send all. Really, really wish they implemented that. 52. Imagine doing this in multiplayer. It would take forever. Captured 173 guns from New England. Everything else was just lend-lease to them. They have a surprising amount of industry. I'm actually surprised by that. I thought we would have stolen more. Keep one of each of the models for the museum. We'll get them back after the war. I'm sure we can make an arrangement. Wow, Viking Nephilim. Got rid of all the Germans on my phone. It's now officially hands-free. That was terribly awesome. Stoner Tony, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so who do we go and help next? I mean, we've got to go and help them against... Actually, if we take out the French Republic, we beat the Entente. In the French Republic... Do we have anywhere we can land here? We don't, do we? I see the problem. Alright, let's go and help out against Germany.
Listen up. Ready to move. Ready.
So we're going to assign you, Wolf, to be my defensive commander.
Ready, sir.
And Smedley, seeing as I'm doing this from the very, very start, we're just going to do one giant line along here. We're just going to draw a line across Europe and say, all of this, I want it. Go. And we probably also ought to send the Air Force over there. Is that everyone? I think so. Alright, so we'll send you... Northern Germany would be the best place to send you. There. That's only space for 1,000, so the medium bombers can go from a little further back. That's 800. Oh, there's another one base. There we go. And there's the logistics company 1. In fact, I am going to set your job now. To be for the pacification of Canada. And the securing of my borders. And yes, this is going to take an awful lot of troops. "83 divisions will be required for this." Well, you have 1/10 of that. Go. That's true, there is Cuba and Hawaii to take care of. Right, the other thing that I need to do is ensure that you lot are guarding the path to Europe. This guy's still repairing. Good grief, that's taking a while. Then once the industry has hit regular status, we'll deploy them to my other raiding fleet and we'll send them over towards Germany. Okay, 41. One of the first things I want is better radar. Actually, no, I want better light tanks. Seeing how I seem to be using those anyway. I forget New York? I don't think I did. I might have.
Attention!
Yes, you're right. Well spotted, although New York is actually being guarded by the blue divisions.
Ready, sir! Ready, sir!
Now watch as all of my convoys suddenly just get used.
Ready, sir!
Stone Mountain, Georgia. With the deep south in Stone Mountain lies a massive bas-relief carving of the three Confederate figures, Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. The site was also the rebirth of the Ku Klux Klan. Many wish to remove such a blight, especially as other monuments of the Confederacy are torn down. However, people are divided as to what to do with the relief. Some believe that it should be destroyed. James Ford, in a cynical turn, wishes to chisel down the Confederates and replace them with Jemmy, John Brown, George Padmore. Diego Rivera, the artist behind the renovation of the Rockefeller Plaza, suggests a cheap and honourable compromise. The relief is to be rechiseled to replace the Confederates, the leaders of the Socialist Revolution, including Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, and John Reed. So we can destroy it for stability and political power. Relief shall show the heroes of emancipation. 5 political power. Relief shall show the history of socialism. History of socialism. John Reed needs to have his relief. Now we're working on transport again. Okay, so we do have a lot of dockyards now. It's not enough. I want more. sure that the repairs of the civic factories are at the top. The other ones I care slightly less about. We'll put you below the dockyard production, but above the infrastructure. And defences I really don't care about. Okay. I mean, the reason I hesitate about the dockyards is we do now have 57 of them, seeing as we captured a bunch from New England.
Commands?
50 of you in training. Just this huge militia army. To the point where I'm actually almost out of manpower. That's quite impressive. Who's really going to fight us at sea? Germany, possibly. Japan, possibly. I think part of it's just the fact I like having a huge, ridiculous navy. Alright, town hall democracy. So now we can get federalism, which is more radical socialism and also stability. My stability is at 41%. I really want you to be at 50 before I start doing stability stuff. I mean, what we could do is these. Oh, that's a bunch more dockyards. Yeah, let's do the workers' cooperatives. The dominance of the industrial unions need not be the death of the enterprise. We shall simply replace the bosses who can make unjust cuts of the profits. Instead, let the workers decide within their workplaces, dividing the wealth fairly amongst themselves. Private enterprise, but where everyone takes an equal share. There was an American company I heard about recently, actually, who has a similar system to that. It's a family-owned business, and all of the employees earn the same share of the profits, and they elect from within themselves who should the CEO be. So the CEO still owns the same amount as anyone else. It's a huge family enterprise. There's like 20 or 30 people in it. I mean, huge for a family. And to get around the problem of, well, if the CEO is your brother and he gets paid 10 times what you get paid, they just pay everyone the same amount, regardless of their position in the company. Actually, I think it's a bigger company than I realise. They do, like, Hispanic foods, apparently. Within America. Spanish stuff. Hispanic, sorry, not Spanish. If Germany kills Russia, then they'll have a real fight. I don't see that happening. The Soviets are already independent. The Soviets are only at war with Don Kuban. And yeah, Germany is not looking too hot. And now there's another 50 divisions on their way over. How close are they? Still a ways away. And these guys are all of my super elite motorized units. And several of the militia are getting ready, so we can start adding them to our forces. Right, air forces. Let's go and take a look at that real quick, first of all. Because we could probably also do with some air support in eastern Germany. So these are the medium bombers. That's already too full. And we don't actually own that airbase yet. That's unfortunate. Right, and the Netherlands also needs air support. And this airbase is now too full. So if we take a fighter group, put them in Flanders, and then have them in the lowlands. And then also 2 of the light bombardment units. Like so. Now we have decent air support everywhere. The Dutch are desperately trying to push out. We have pretty overwhelming air support now. Well, time for the US to sweep in and claim they won the war all by themselves. Yeah, absolutely.
Ready, sir.
Feel like we need to protect that as well, just in case. The only bit where we're a little bit shaky is the mid-Atlantic gap. And there are apparently a bunch of ships still in the Caribbean, so I'm thinking if you ever finish repairing, I'll send you out. You two need to join the training fleet. And then the CSS Industry is going to be allocated to that fleet. And then you lot are going to be on convoy raiding in the Caribbean. Oh, hell, I think I'm going to put you on convoy raiding the Caribbean too. And I'm going to create a new fleet, which is not training. And you are going to be a raider fleet, which will need some cruisers. We'll have all of you raiding Caribbean. Okay.
Ready.
And we're only actually really slightly low on infantry equipment. Interesting. I never did build a single heavy tank. It is 41, so I could actually research the upgraded heavy tank. So once construction 4 is done, I might well do that. And we'll start thinking about the mechanized heavy units that I've been considering throughout the entire game. My plan was to build those. Although I have no idea who we'll use them against. AUG, maybe? I somewhat doubt that we're going to need them against the Germans. Speaking of which, actually, how's France doing for manpower? Totally fine. Germany, however, is starting to struggle. Germany having now lost 5 million to Commander Francis 3. And there it is, construction 4. So... I've just realised what the problem is. I can't actually afford General Motors yet, and we're going to need that before we start researching those heavy tanks. I might not even need the production cost reduction. No, I've been talking about GM throughout. We're going to research something else until we can get the political power together that we're going to need. So, centimetric radar. In fact, hold on. Advanced computing machines. Probably more important. Probably.
Ready.
Why the hell are you going to Britain?
Ready, sir. Fall in.
The Soviet Union declared war on Mongolia.
Attention.
Now, is Mongolia allied to Japan? I have a feeling they are. No. It's just Tibet and Turkestan Khanate, so the Soviets is now at war with all of this. And they still haven't beaten the Don Kuban. And these guys are surprisingly strong, currently. A lot of divisions, decent amount of industry. In fact, combined they will have more industry than the Soviets do. Quite a lot more. That's what, 60 versus your 50? Not sure that was very wise there, Soviet Union. At least not until you've beaten Don Kuban. Didn't even count their industry. Not a lot. It's a civilian, though. Already fighting. Caribbean fleet not hugely strong. 8 cruisers in this fight now. My cruisers should be able to shred destroyers. Yeah, they are. Plus the West Indies Federation ships are ancient. That was the difficulty playing as them. Might need those heavy tanks to save Russia. I doubt it. If Russia joins the Third Internationale, then they're going to have the full might of basically Germany, France, Britain, Spain and Italy on their side. In fact, the heavy tanks might be good against Two Sicilies, although it actually looks like they're making breakthroughs against the Two Sicilies right now. I think that line is finally broken, just through overwhelming numbers. Oh, my first units have arrived. Never fear, America is here!